What up, though? This is the Pending Millionaires podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike Warner, your day trader, and also the CEO of Pending Millionaire Collection.
And I'm your other co-host, Andre Bell, financial advisor with a degree in psychology and sociology. So we're going to talk about how your mind and your money match up today.
Ooh, but I feel today we got to talk about ownership and how ownership is very important. See, a lot of people don't understand what ownership is. There's a lot of ways that you can own something, own properties, own assets, own a lot of different things. And we are the right people to talk about this.
Man, ownership is definitely the name of the game. If you haven't figured out that working an average job, and just going home is not the way to do it. You have to invest in yourself. You have to own something. Ownership is the key. When you think back to playing Monopoly all these years ago, right? Monopoly was a game to play with your family, right?
That's right.
And you went around the board. Can you imagine if you just went around the board and you just collected $200 after you passed go, or never bought a property, but you was always renting? You got to pay when you land on somebody else's property.
That's right.
Would you rather be the one paying or getting paid? That's easy.
Get paid.
Get paid.
That's all.
But imagine, life is just like Monopoly. And many people go through life year after year, never owning, never buying any assets, no income producing assets, just themselves. And believe me or not, you can own yourself and turn yourself into a brand and a business, especially in today's society.
And that's even powerful because there's many websites that can help you own land, also own homes. People don't even know that there are cheap land, there are cheap houses that you can own in a land bank, and we'll dive into that today. But first, we want to talk about how do you own different assets. So I will let Andre go first. But one of the ways that we can own assets.
The easiest way to own an asset is through the stock market. The two easiest ways to build wealth in America, through the stock market and real estate. Both of them include ownership. You own a piece of a company when you buy a stock, when you buy a share of a stock. And real estate, when you buy a house, you are buying into the real estate game. These are the two easiest ways to build wealth in America. So why not participate? When we talk about owning a stock, did you know that when you purchase just one share of a stock that you have access to all of their financials? And now you are considered a part owner of that company?
Come on now. Talk about it. Talk about it. Because first of all, it's so funny that you say that. You have the opportunity to own an Apple. Did you know that you have an opportunity to own a Nike? Did you know you have an opportunity to own a sports team?
Oh, no, don't get there yet. Oh, man.
Okay,
I'm stuck on the Apple.
Okay.
Because most people here, did you know you can own Apple? And be like, I do own an Apple. I buy iPhone every time they drop. Yes, you do. Just because you buy their product does not make you an owner of the company, right? You can go out and buy their products every year, every time they drop, but you're not an owner. But the moment you purchase one share, you consider yourself an owner. Now, every time Apple makes a sale, guess who gets a piece of that pie? You. Because you listen to the Pending Millionaires podcast, you knew exactly how to take advantage of ownership in today's society, how to buy a stock, where to buy a stock, what to do with it, how the children can benefit from owning the stocks that you have. I challenge you. If your kid likes Nikes and Jordans, the next time you buy them a pair of Nike and or Jordan, buy them a share. Buy them a share of Nike and buy them the shoes. And in 10 years, ask for the shoe back, and then show them the value of the asset of the Nike stock you own for them. That shoe, I guarantee you, will be dusty, crusty, and he won't even want to put it on his feet no more. But that stock that you show him, that has gone up since you bought those shoes 10 years ago, and that's where it starts. We got to train the next generation to be better than what we were.
That's 100% correct. A lot of people don't understand. There's a little kid that I knew. There's around 2021 when the meme stocks were going crazy. Somebody had bought a whole bunch of GameStop shares. Now he loved GameStop, and his mother was like, "Okay, let's put the money in GameStop." Did you not know when GameStop shot up, he became very well off? He bought nice cars. As a matter of fact, he bought some clothes. I remember just going to my parents' house, driving up, and then I would see the young man just zip by. And I'm like, off of GameStop. So, look, I challenge you right now to open that brokerage account. See, I started off, and you don't mind me saying this, I started off with Robinhood. So I started putting shares in the Robinhood, but you have a whole bunch of brokerage accounts that you can get your stocks from. You also have Webull. You also have Charles Schwab. You also have TD Ameritrade. You also have Moomoo and a bunch of others, SoFi. So those are the things that you can buy stocks from, and it's safely in there. Now, one might say, do you buy stocks from Cash App? I cannot confirm or deny it, but I heard it's pretty safe. But you can try it. But brokerage accounts, that's where you want your money at. Do you think so?
I completely agree. And if you need help, if you need someone to look over your brokerage accounts, if you want help opening one, I can help you do that. I'm a financial advisor, and we have brokerage accounts. That's one of the things that we help people open: mutual funds, brokerage accounts, life insurance, whatever you need. We do everything financial in my office. You can give us a call. We're right here in Southfield. You can come on in person. I like meeting with my clients face to face. You got to see the energy. You got to vibrate. We got to make sure we vibe together. And once we do that, man, I'm telling you, but no, seriously, brokerage accounts, that's the way to go. Most people leave their money in a checking and savings account, and it is earning them no money. Your money is just sitting collecting dust, and actually in some cases losing value.
100%. Inflation.
Every dollar that you leave in a checking and savings account is being eaten away by inflation. Let's just be real. You guys have seen how the price of chips. I remember when I was a kid, you can relate to this. You could go to the store with maybe $1.50 and you can come out with 4-5 snacks. You get 2 bags of chips or juice. Come out. Candy bars. You go to the store with $1 today, and they are sending you back out the door to go get some more money first.
You can still get that Arizona can. That's the only thing you can get.
But even the Dollar Tree ain't $1 no more.
No, it's $1.25.
It's $1.25
crazy. That's
so
crazy.
Understand that the world is getting more and more expensive, and that's great that you've been accumulating money, but make sure your money is working for you. Mm-hmm. Money is a currency. It's meant to flow. We've said this before. It's meant to flow from you, and to somewhere else. But where it flows from you to either helps you or hurts you. That $100 that you spend on Nike, if you didn't put it into a Nike stock, it's going to depreciate.
That's right.
But if you put it into the Nike stock, it will appreciate. That's the difference. And that's the difference that our community has to be awakened to, is that it's not about making money. Everyone can make money, but it's about making your money make you more money.
That's beautiful. It even ties into what President Trump was doing. He said all the babies that are born during his administration, they get $1,000, and that $1,000 is placed into the S&P 500. So just imagine that all the way up to they're 18 years old. Man, these kids gonna be well off.
Started off with
$1,000. Now, those of you who don't know the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is an ETF where it has Apple, Tesla, all the major stocks, all the major companies, all into one, and it grows 5%. 5% every year. If you take a look at that from when it first started to where it is now, it's a substantial growth. So imagine this. It's $1,000, right? You get this $1,000 for your baby, and by the time they turn 18, the S&P 500, as of right now, this recording, it was around $631. 18 years from now, the projection should be well over $1,000. If not, it should eclipse to almost $2,000.
And let's also say that the Trump accounts, that's the government giving you $1,000. They also said parents can contribute up to $5,000 a year. I'm going to be honest. I don't have any children yet, but hearing about the Trump accounts made me want to. All right, let me hold on now. But no, seriously, it made me contemplate having a child now, because not only will the government incentivize it, but I can write off $5,000 of a gift that I've given to my child and it be invested into the S&P 500 and grow. We're talking about a generational cheat code that wasn't around for our parents, wasn't around for their parents, but we now have access to it. And you have access to podcasts and different conversations like the ones that we're having today. So let it be known that you have no excuse as to why you're not building wealth today. The only excuse that you can curate is you. You are in your own way. Step out of your own way. Pride and ego is not going to help you live the life you want to see happen. If you believe success is around the corner, you have to take the actionable steps to actually get there.
Yeah, you have to. Because you got to realize you have to be uncomfortable to be successful. You have to do things when you're scared. The reason why you're not seeing the progression, are you in your scared state? Are you in your uncomfortable state? As we doing this podcast, we are in our uncomfortable state, but we know we want to help you to progress. So now I challenge you, get in your uncomfortable state and start working towards your goal. This is where is one thing that I taught about on Sunday. It was pressure makes diamonds. So when you're under pressure, that's when you become the most successful. So you are a diamond. You're rough in the diamond. But you got to have that pressure on you. So when you start achieving everything that you want and you start doing business decisions, big goals, you're achieving all of those. Guess what? You're already a diamond. You cannot be stopped. But it all starts in that uncomfortable place where you're saying, should I do this? I don't want to do this. I'm too scared to do this. If Jeff Bezos did not get in that uncomfortable state with his books, because remember, Amazon was a bookstore.
Most people don't know that.
And he went to that uncomfortable state. Look at Amazon now.
There are many corporations that started off as something else that they had intentions on being something else and transforming into something else. Starbucks wasn't a coffee company.
No.
It was meant to be a bank.
Nobody
People don't know that.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I remember Under Armour. I met the CEO of Under Armour. He started off in his parents' basement. Look where he's at now. Uncomfortable state.
McDonald's is not a food restaurant. It's in the real estate business.
Real estate. All real estate.
Real estate. Think about how many times McDonald's. It's not because their food's good, because we all know that McDonald's doesn't mold.
No. But they own the land.
But they own the land, and everyone goes in their doors. Real estate business. You hardly see McDonald's closing.
Barely. But they still own that land.
They still own that land.
Even if the business closed, they still own the land.
Ownership, people. Taking ownership. Take ownership of your life. Because let me tell you this. If you think someone's coming to save you, you've already lost. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself, and then you can save other people. What do they say on you on the airplane? Put the oxygen mask on yourself before assisting others. But you so busy trying to help everybody else. But mama need this. But my baby need that. But what about you? And now I want to talk to my ladies, because let's be real. Women are oftentimes, I don't want to say forgot about, but you neglect yourself because you care about everybody else. You care about your parents. You care about your children. You want to pour into everyone else. And then you look around and say, why is my cup empty? Why is my retirement account not full? Because you took breaks from work, because you had children. And I'm not telling you that these are bad things. I'm saying that these are not excuses as to why you can't build wealth. You have to do both. Women, you already make less than men. Statistically, you are the most educated population, and yet you still are at a disadvantage when it comes to the pay gap. So you have to take the extra step and invest in yourself because, like I said, no one's coming to save you. And you're going to look up 20 years and say, I wish I started sooner. I wish I did this earlier. Like you said earlier, fear keeps you away from making decisions that can help change.
That's right.
Because no one is comfortable with change, because you get so comfortable and complacent with everyday life. You're like, oh, I can do this. I can get up. I can go to work, come home. And you get complacent in this lifestyle loop. Deep down, you want more. But how? It starts with taking a chance, taking a risk. If you don't take the chance, you can never get the reward.
That's even powerful, because I could hear one might say, okay, how can I take the chance if I'm dealing with this and this? First of all, you have to write it down and then begin to work with it.
That's
right?
biblical.
Biblical all the way. And you have to work with it. It's little things you can do every single day. If not every week, set a standard. Say, this week I'm going to get this done. This week I'm going to get this done. If I don't do it this week, I'm going to get it done this week. But I'm going to put it on my refrigerator. The reason why, you have to see it, you have to look at it, and you have to make it plain. It doesn't matter if you fail 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 1,000 times, but you're learning from your mistakes. Do not give up. I know life is getting hard definitely for all of us, but at the same token, we got to understand this. If we give up, we will not see the fruits of our labor. We have generations to leave wealth for. So we're looking for that generational wealth. But it starts with us, right? So it can take us 2-3 years. But at the same time, guess what? We are accomplishing more than we ever did last year. You're not competing with yourself. You're not competing with the person next to you. You're competing with the person behind you. And when I mean the person behind you, and that's people that's actually not people, it's yourself from 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Matter of fact, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter what age, you're competing with that person because that person molds you to who you are, but you're looking at your future and you're trying to mold yourself into something new and make yourself something whole. That's why we're like Play-Doh. I like saying that a lot, and it's crazy because every day we turn it to a ball, we get real lumpy, we turn it to anything. But if we shape ourselves of what we have envisioned ourselves into, we going to achieve that goal. Look at all the people that create statues. They saw the vision. They saw the vision. They made it plain. They wrote it down, made it plain. They took their time with it. So take time with your goal. Take time with anything that you own, assets or anything. Make that vision clear. My goodness, I feel like this is church, but this is not church. This is the Pending Millionaire podcast.
It can be church. It can be church. We can break it to the pulpit because you said something. You said it starts with the vision, and you have that vision. You already know what you want your life to look like. God tells us that he will fulfill the desires in our heart, in your heart, which means it's already spewing out from inside of you. You know what you want. You have it up here. You have it in here. But creating a plan, an actionable plan to get there. And it starts with having a long-term vision and breaking that into segments and saying, these are my habits that I will use to attain my goals. Because, see, goals only happen when you have habits that align to your goals.
That's right.
If you got a goal to becoming a millionaire, you can't spend pointless money.
No.
If your plan is to become a millionaire, you can't do it without investing.
That's right.
If your plan and goal is to buy the nice cars, buy the nice house, have this lavish lifestyle, then you have to do more than just work. You have to own something. You can own a property, and once you pay off the mortgage, take a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, take that, go put a down payment on the second property. Now you have a primary residence and a rental property. That's the rental game. You keep repeating that. Or you buy a stock. Buy a partial share. $50 here. $50 there. Drip into it. Right?
Drip into it.
What is drip? Dripping is dividend repayment, reinvestment plan. So it's so basically once a stock pays you money, or as you keep adding more money into your brokerage account, you can start consistently reinvesting, buying more shares. The more shares you own, the more appreciation you can see with inside of your account.
100%. And even going back with dividends, so like we were talking about Apple have dividends. The more shares you buy, the more dividend money you get back. A lot of people don't understand that. I tell my clients, when I had a whole bunch of clients, I would say at least own 100 shares of a company. They say, why? Because those dividend payments come back heavy. So you have Apple, you have AT&T, and you have a few others
that are dividend paying stocks that you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's money in your pocket. And when I tell you that money can be a reinvestment to something that you can basically buy another pair of stocks. For me personally, I'll take the dividend money and I'll reinvest it into some trade options. And we will talk about the trade options later, but I just want to focus on the ownership part because a lot of people don't understand some of these stocks own different companies. Now, I can talk about one sports team. We were talking about it before we got on behind the cameras. We were talking about the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves is a public trading company. Now, imagine.
Wait. The Atlanta Braves, the sports team?
The sports
like
team.
Let's be specific. The baseball team?
The MLB baseball team.
They have a stock.
IPO. And currently, at this time of this recording, it was sitting at $47.34. Now imagine this: you buy a whole bunch of Atlanta Braves stocks,
and they win the World Series.
And
the jersey sales pop. And did you know this? Altruist Park oh my goodness, what the Braves are doing is actually monumental because not only are they a public traded company, but their stadium is used for way more than just baseball games. They have way more things inside of their park. They have different business ventures. They have different people who come and rent out their stadium on a business scale because they have so many different venues and avenues inside of their park. It's not just a baseball stadium. I didn't know that. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And now finding out that they have an IPO makes a lot of sense. Whoever's running that, they have a business mind for sure.
And you definitely could see the growth within the last couple of years since they launched. That is, I gave you a secret. How that is one of the major ways to obtain ownership. Now to say I'm a minority owner of the Atlanta Braves.
Man, back in the day, you had to have a lot of money to be considered an owner of a sports team.
Yeah.
And now it's more accessible. I want to touch on something. And this, I really want you to understand this hierarchy. Because most people think this way, and we're training you to be different because you are a pending millionaire. So you can no longer act like just a worker. You are a pending millionaire. That's right. That's a mindset that you have to walk in, and there's actionable steps that you have to take. Most people, they have an income. They take that income and they spend it. They pay their bills. They buy things, they experience new places, they treat their people that they care about, their family and friends and loved ones. And then what's left, they say, okay, maybe I can go and invest it, right? The wealthy, the millionaires that you are becoming, they have one shift in their prioritization. They get paid, and the first place that they put it is an income producing asset, their bulk of their money. And then once that asset appreciates, you take those gains that you have from this asset that you owned, and then you buy the nice thing that you want. That's the biggest difference in using your hard-earned money or you using using OPM, other people's money.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not if you really want the honest with me, I'm not the biggest fan of using other people's money, but I am the biggest fan of reinvesting the same money and keep getting the profits and holding on to those profits or reinvesting those profits. The reason why I like that is because I have more control. I have more control over put it like this, I'm a control freak, so I have more control over my destiny. Let that be known. Yeah. So I can control what can I invest without nobody behind my back saying, oh, you're using my money to do this. You're using my money to do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do this. For me personally, I want to make sure I have full ownership, full control, and I can do whatever I want. It's one thing as a business owner, when you have full control over something, you want to make the executive decisions, but you want to make the right executive decisions. So for me personally, I'm going to share a little bit of my secrets. I pray before I make any decision. I want to make sure this is the strategic decision, but also it's my destiny decision. Because you don't want to get into a place where everything gets out of whack and you don't understand why. If I'm not listening to the voice of the Lord, then I'm not going to do it. So another thing too is, if that's why at the beginning of the year, I write everything down what I want to accomplish, right? And when I do that is I'm setting the standard for the year. When we wrote this down right now on this podcast and we wrote it down in the beginning of this year, and look where it's happening now, right? It took a while, but it's happening now. That's where you have to be. You have to be strategic on everything you do, but also following the destiny that you have set forth. You cannot be in a place where you are double-minded. And the Bible talks about a double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. So you cannot be double-minded and then you be unstable in your decisions. Those double-minded standards are going to hinder you from getting to where you need to be. So do not do that. I'm not going to say be sober-minded like that, because everybody's going to have their vices and things of that nature, and I'm not going to talk about that. But I will say this. Be vigilant of what you're doing. Be vigilant of what you're doing. Majority of the business owners, I'm going to be real with you for this podcast. Majority of the business owners are very sober-minded. They are very focused. They are very deliberate on what they want, and they tell people, hey, I'm not doing this because it go against what I feel. People don't understand that. You have to learn how to say no. But you also have to learn and think everything out before you do anything concerning your business.
You said a word that I use so consistently. Focus. I even have an acronym for it. Faithfully organizing cash flow for unstoppable success. Focus.
Focus.
Faithfully organizing cash flow for unstoppable success. And you talked about that. You have to be very mindful of every decision you make, including with your money. See, your cash flow is what you have to build wealth. If you don't know what cash flow is basically saying I have earned income, I have liabilities. The amount of money that I have left over from my income after paying my liabilities is my cash flow. That's the amount of money that I can place into income producing assets to bring me more appreciation, to bring me more investment money, to bring me more capital gains in X, Y, and Z. You have to organize your cash flow. Most of the time, the first step to building wealth is identify what leaks you have in your income. Your income is your number one wealth building tool. You hear other people say that. I heard that from Dave Ramsey. I'm going to give him a shout out. Your income is your number one wealth building tool, but it's serious. Yeah. And the amount of times that you poke holes in your number one wealth building tool, you can't build wealth that way. Okay. And we are so consistently, I don't want to say we, because that puts you in that same category. We are no longer making the decision of intentionally poking holes in our number one wealth building tool, our income. So when you have income, when you have your earned income, track the amount of money that you spend. Most people don't know how much money they spend on a monthly basis or an annual one.
You know what's crazy? People don't realize you go to Starbucks, that $5 coffee, and you go every day.
That's $30 a week.
That's $30 a week. So imagine
6 days if you go on site.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's money getting taken out. People don't realize that. Like for me personally, I can talk about it. I spent $3 on an energy drink.
Every day?
Almost every day. Almost.
What energy drink?
Uptime.
Okay.
Uptime. Shout out to Uptime. And that's how I get through half my day. Because after $3 every day, I'm like, okay, I need energy. I got to deal with coaching at 6 o'clock. So I'm like, I need to deal with these kids. But realizing I was doing my finances, I'm like, okay, $3 every day is adding up. And it's like, that's money that I can take and reinvest into my businesses. And that's what people don't realize. You got to be cost efficient. You got to know what your bills are lined up. That's one thing my parents had taught me, especially my mom. Shout out to my mother. She said, write down all your bills. Put on a piece of paper. And then put your income. And then after that, figure out what's your disposable income. Now, how are you going to reinvest your money? And I'm sitting up there looking at my mother. I'm young. I'm like,
what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. Now those principles, now I understand, because now, I have an apartment, a car note. I also have business expenses. And also I'm running finances for a church. So I have to be clear and cut with all my finances. It does not matter. And I'm like, now I'm looking at my mother. I'm like,
thank you.
Thank you.
The moment you clearly identify your income and your expenses, you have taken the first step to building wealth. That's the first and hardest thing to do, is identify what you have and what you're spending. Most people just, I know I got enough money to pay my bills. That's it.
That's it.
If I got a little extra money to go somewhere, we gonna do it.
Right.
But you have to be intentional with your wealth building tools.
100%.
You have to identify what you're bringing in and what's going out. That tells you what you got left, like you talk about your disposable income. Now, most people hear disposable income. That's why I use cash flow. Disposable income, I'm going to dispose of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's my disposable income versus my cash flow. This is the cash that I have left to flow into other income producing assets, IPAs, income producing assets. You will hear us talk about everything that makes you money. IPAs make you money. Properties make you money. Stocks make you money. Now, can you lose money in the stock market? Yes. Can you lose money in the real estate game? Yes. But do you have a greater chance of making money? Yes. And that's why we're telling you, get your head in real estate and stocks because you will make money. That's no guarantee, but I'm telling you, historically shown, people who invested into stocks 10 years ago have appreciated way more than people who didn't.
I still fight myself in my sleep. Because I'm like, man, I was 6 years old playing with Hot Wheels, and I should have invested
Into
Apple.
Maytel.
Oh,
Man.
Yeah, what? You like, man, you're sitting there, man, why invest in a house? Why invest in Apple? Oh, man, why invest in a Tesla? I'm like, man, I would be a millionaire, but I'm so busy running little Hot Wheels up the wall, maybe on the ground, then shooting it down the ground. See, but those are the type of things that I wish I had learned at a young age. But now, I don't know our viewership just yet, but if you are between the ages of 14 all the way up to around 30, 35, 36, I want to tell you something. The time is now. Do not focus on the past.
The best time was yesterday. The second best time is now.
Oh, I like that one. The best time was yesterday because I need this money by
today.
No, I need that money by yesterday.
We all need it by yesterday.
And that's the thing, dude. So focus on something. Create a game plan. And I would love to say this. Create the game plan, right? Write down what you want, what kind of stocks you want. You say, hey, I don't know what to invest in. Okay, it's okay. Start with the S&P 500 and start investing with the S&P 500. And then work your way. Start learning about these different stocks. These different companies. Do not invest into something that you do not know about, because that is the number one red flag that I always see. I ask somebody, okay, why did you invest in the company? What's so special about the company? I don't know. What you mean you don't know?
At least start with companies you currently purchase from. At least start with those companies. Start with the companies that you frequent. If you like their products, invest in their stock. That only makes sense. I buy an iPhone every year. Invest in Apple. I'm in Macy's every other day. I know Macy's, maybe not Macy's. Y'all ain't in Macy's no more. Y'all on Fashion Nova. Y'all on... We ain't talking about the fast fashion. We talking about the real stuff, right? If you like Saks Fifth, invest into their stock. Like all these companies have stocks.
Versace has stocks. A lot of these people don't know that. That's the thing. The reason why they don't know that, because they're never taught that. We're the first ones to tell you, because first of all, I've been on a lot of podcasts, and I've seen a lot of podcasts, and they don't talk about it. Yeah, we wear their brands, but are you investing in their company? That's where the wealth begins. That's the ownership begins. See, and a lot of people don't understand, when you buy their stock, they have to have a stockholder meeting, and you have to vote. And vote which direction of the company it goes. It can go left, north, south, east, west. We'll never know because you have to vote. And I remember that one time when they have earning calls, right? And usually those earning calls, that's when I get excited. I get so excited because I'm like, okay, cool. Show me the financials. Show me where my money is doing. Show me are y'all beating expectations or y'all not beating expectations. Because if they beat expectations, guess what? Your money's it's gonna grow even more over time. But then if they're not beating expectations, you're going to see that stock price go down. And now you're like, do I need to pull out? Is this like the Titanic? Or is it sinking?
That was secret sauce for all of our retail investors. If you pick a stock and you got earnings coming up, you should watch out for those earnings.
Yes. And they do it quarterly.
Be mindful.
quarterly earnings. So there's 4 quarters. So always be mindful. Always type it up. Hey, when is Apple's earnings call? What is it? Is it today is at the time of this recording is in August. So then they have an earnings call. It's September.
Right before their iPhone
drops. Secret sauce again. So you never know. I'm telling you.
Be mindful. Now, you started talking to our younger crowd. You said if you were 16 to 36, all right? I'm going to stay within that time frame. But first, I'm going to talk to the younger time frame. If you 16 to 21, okay, you are in the prime shape to shape your future right now. 16 to 21, you should be mapping out this vision casting. Get a board and cut out some pictures, put them on a board and put it in your room. This is the time to start implanting those visions into your mind, into your heart. Because once you have that vision in your mind and your heart, you can only act upon it. Now, if you already have that vision in your mind and in your heart, and the next thing is putting together a plan. A plan will bring you so much peace. Okay, peace comes with a plan knowing that you can attain what you want to have happen. Most people set goals and have no plan behind it. And it's not a goal at that point. That is a wish. That is a wish, not a goal. A goal has an action plan behind it. An action plan is something that we can sit down together and create for you, and I'll do it for free. Give me 30 minutes of your time, and I'll give you an action plan that you can implement for the rest of your life. That's what our first meeting will be about. And from that, whether you take it and grow or not, and whether you come back and see me or not, I've done my part to help you create a plan. And that's all I want to do is to give you the plan that you can execute. And the first piece of that plan is protecting who you are, protecting the person you are today, protecting the income that you are projected to earn. You can protect your projected earnings. Did you know that?
You can. Matter of fact, it's so funny. You talk about write a plan also. Have an exit plan. Nobody talks about exit plan. One might say, Mike, what is an exit plan? The exit plan is draw out a plan if something were to hit a goal that you wanted to reach and how to successfully obtain your wealth. Okay? So what I do is every time I write a goal and then I write an exit plan. My exit plan is this. I'll share a little bit. Once we reach a certain stage in our careers, then we're going to get bigger. We're going to go bigger. So we're going to think bigger. And that's my exit plan. We got to go from one stage to another stage. As you get bigger and you start exiting out of one situation, you go into a bigger plan in the next situation. So a lot of people don't understand that. But since you're on the Pending Millionaires podcast, start writing it down. Say, hey, when I first started making my first $10,000, my exit plan is now I want to reinvest that money and start making $30K a month. That's the goal you got to have. But also in that exit plan at the bottom, you should write, okay, what I'm going to do more. This, from my instance, my clothing brand, the Pending Millionaires collection. I set a goal for $10,000 per month, right? My exit plan for right now is now I want to have more frequent releases. I want to have more drops. I want to start doing more things within the community. So now from that 10, I want to make 30, okay? My exit plan right here is this is where the growth is going to happen. So have that plan. A lot of people don't talk about it. I wish as a kid I knew that. I wish I knew that. And then, matter of fact, some of these companies, let's for instance, Blockbuster. One thing about Blockbuster, they didn't have an exit plan. It was something that happened, and you know the name of the company. You should know the name of the company because we all use it to this day.
Netflix.
They didn't have an exit plan. They were relying on their same source as times was evolving. They didn't have an exit plan. Like, how can they progress? And Netflix came to them. They said, no, we're good. Next minute, you know this?
Netflix offered to buy Blockbuster. And they said,
look where Netflix is now.
Look where Blockbuster is now.
One store, one Blockbuster store. But look where Netflix is. Hosting the WWE now? Come on, man. You went from a streaming company showing movies to now you are showing live events?
Yeah.
Man.
Like you said, success is a moving target. The moment you think you've hit success, it's going to change. It's going to look differently because you are someone different. You have grown. Your assets have grown. You have more money now. So your success looks different. It was, I want $100,000. Once you want $100,000, you don't want $100,000 no more. You want 500,000. So success is ever changing, and success is a moving target. The moment you hit it, there's going to be something else to follow it. So that's what Mike is talking about, is not only having a plan and having a goal, but understanding that those goals will get crossed out and you will need another goal to follow that. And that's why it's so important to have a plan. And like he's talking about an exit plan. Most people hear exit plan, they think retirement. And you think retirement, you think, I'm done working. Retirement should not be the time you turn into a couch potato. Retirement should be the time where you decide, I have worked my life. This point in my life, I am giving to X, Y, and Z. This is the time that you retire your hands and use your heart, use your brain, give back to communities and places that have helped you attain the success that you have attained. Retirement is not the end. It is just a change of character. Ooh. And you have to understand that. Retirement isn't the end. Retirement is just when you take off one cape and you just relax.
Ooh, that's when I was down in Hawaii. Man, you should see all the people, because I was in a really nice resort. And they were just talking. They was like, yeah, I just closed this one business and I'm getting money. I'm getting money off of that. And then I opened this other business, but I treat this other business that I'm getting money off of like retirement money. I'm looking at them like, okay. They're like, what do you do? I said, I'm a day trader. They're like, oh, okay. You have something set up afterwards? I'm like, yeah, I do have some retirement accounts, yeah. But it's got a nice amount of money. If I were to retire today, could I live off the money? A little bit, yeah. And he was like, okay, businesses. Open businesses, sell the businesses, get money off of the business. That's going to be your retirement money. And then open another business. I'm like,
business, open, own, run a business. And oftentimes, the first business is you.
Yeah.
You are a brand. You tell a story. You are your main character in your story. And did you know that you can get paid off of just your name now? You can get paid because someone else likes you. You can get paid because you have an image that they like. Those three letters together, NIL.
Ooh.
Athletes. I didn't have the opportunity to earn NIL money, and I'm jealous. I'm not really jealous because I'm making money, but there is an opportunity for you to make money as a young college athlete, and you don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be in the top five, or you don't have to be a 5-star recruit going to a Power 5 college. You can be an average D2, D3 baseball, basketball player, but have a brand that sticks out besides the sports you play. That's the key. You got to have something that stands out outside of the sports you play. Okay, you're a basketball player, but who else are you? What else does your story tell? Stories sell. Facts tell. Make sure you're telling and selling a story.
Also, get a logo. Please get a logo. I tell people all the time, get a logo and trademark your logo. That's the number one thing you should do. If you're starting your brand, get a logo, trademark it. Now you own that logo and your brand. A lot of people don't understand about trademarking.
LeVar Ball did. The Balls did. The big baller brand. And that's what I'm saying. He was one. Oh, my goodness. I love what he did for his children.
Yeah. He did wonderful. He actually did it the right way. He bragged about it, but he did it the right way.
He did it the right way. And he got 3 NBA stars. One of them trying to be a rap artist. Should stick to playing basketball. But that's my opinion. That's not yours. But I'm just saying, learn from the successful stories. Don't repeat the same mistakes that have been done before you. Learn from the successful stories. Learn from the stories like the LeVar Balls. Learn from those success stories. Though success always leaves clues. Are you picking them up?
Well, yeah. And also on top of that, while you're successful, create your own lane. Take the blueprints that was given to you and create your own lane. Do not swerve. Do not try to go outside your lane. Do not try to do none of that. If you stay in your lane, you're going to be very successful. The route is going to be a little bit longer, but you're going to be successful. You just got to stick with the plan. Stick with your heart. Make sure you listen to your heart because it's not going to steer you wrong. But also, be careful. Do not let a lot of people in your circle and get in your ear, and that's going to change your mindset.
I was going to say, man, you don't let nobody compromise your morals.
No.
Because I'm telling you, the moment that success starts to come closer to you, so does the enemy. So does everyone trying to take from you. The moment you start because let's be clear. Success is attracted to you. You have to foster a mindset of growth and success. And once you do, you start attracting people to you. Some good, some not so good. You have to have discernment and to know whether people have the best intentions for you or not. Is this person looking out for me or for them? Only you can answer that question, but you have to ask the question. You have to be mindful and say, okay, is this someone I should be around or not? Because good people come, and the Bible tells you that people will pour into your bosoms, but people will leech at just as hard, and leeches, they have no end. They will continue to fester and feed off of your success. So make sure that you have a plan and you are listening to people who are guiding you in the right direction. And ask the question, ask why. They tell you to do something, why? Do not be afraid to ask why.
No, don't be afraid.
If you don't ask why, you might end up in, never mind.
See,
I was going to make a joke.
always,
no, Diddy.
always get the people that have been in your shoes and they're very successful. Do not listen to the ones that just be saying anything. Oh, you should be doing this, and I think that will work for you. No, dude, that's going to cloud your mind. The people that are successful, they are genuinely want to help. So they're going to tell you the right things to do. It might piss you off because they might say something about your character or your business, and you just going to be like, I shouldn't be doing that. It's okay. They have an idea. They've been there before. Sometimes it could be old and might not agree, but take the blueprints from it. And that's one thing that I'm grateful for is because I have somebody that mentors me, Teresa Cox, Dr. Teresa Cox, I should say. She mentors me a lot about money. She mentors me about my business. She would say, look, son, this is going to work. This ain't going to work. You should do this, but you shouldn't do this. And I'm very grateful to have her in my life because there are things that I have to go to her. I say, what do you think about this? Do you think the real estate market is going to do this? Or do you think this stock is going to do this? And she will tell me, do your research. I think it's going to do this, but still do your research. And I'm very grateful because I've watched. She has the nice car. She has all that. But how she built her wealth is crazy. It's so crazy, and I just love it because now I can pick her brain with certain stuff, and you see where I'm at now. It's a blessing from God. It's definitely a blessing from God. So always find a mentor that's definitely going to help you, and have your heart, have your best interest, because they will never steer you wrong.
Oh my goodness, you said it might hurt. But having a mentor, having someone to call on, having someone who's walked the walk that you're trying to walk is so helpful. My mentor, and I do the air quotes because he doesn't like being called a mentor, but my advisor, my helper, my leader, my guider, our CEO, Ellis Sadell, he told me that people learn two ways, through mistakes and through mentors. He said, mistakes cost you a lot more than mentors do. So if you have a mentor, you can avoid a lot of mistakes that they encountered early in their wealth building journey or business venture that you might be having. So having someone older, more wise, more vested in the situation in your business venture will always benefit you. I'm so grateful for the time that I've spent here as an apprentice at ELE Wealth Management, because I was able to sit right next to one of the top financial advisors that looked like me. One of the first and furthest along African American wealth managers, period. One of the first African Americans to own a wealth management firm. I got to sit next to him and pick his brain and ask him questions because I knew that's what I wanted to do. So he gave me the how, the what to watch out for, the when to watch out for it. He gave me the answers that I didn't even know I needed at the time. I didn't even know I had the questions, but he did because he's lived it, he's experienced it, and you have to get with someone who's lived it, who's experienced it, and that's why we're here bringing you this information because we've lived it and experienced it, and we are trying to lead you and guide you to make sure you don't make the mistakes that we did.
That's right.
Because I know the biggest mistake I had was not investing sooner, and I'm trying to make sure that none of y'all have to make that mistake again. Invest. It is not about when you invest because you can never time the market and be right on time. But the amount of time you spend in the market, you definitely will see the return on your investment. ROI.
As we wrapping up here, we gonna share the tidbits. So what's the secret for today? What's the secret for the market for today? What do you think? What are you looking at? What kind of stock, cryptocurrency you looking at?
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth. All right.
I have to pass that back to you, Mr. Day Trader.
All right. So for me personally, I want to share with you what I've been looking at and what's going on my portfolio. All financial ideas, no financial advice. Right now, I'm just looking at quantum computers, different quantum computer stocks. Reason why I like those quantum computers is the next wave of the AI train. Do not fall asleep. People who fell asleep on the AI train and missed the train, okay, cool. But now this quantum computers is going to be something that's very special. Can it hurt us as humans? I can't answer that question. But as an investor, I'm definitely looking to it. So do your research. Number one, do nothing but research. Figure out what stock is work for you. For me personally, that's the ticket I'm on, and that's what I'm researching.
All right, I will give a little tidbit.
All right.
Just start. The hardest thing about investing is the first payment. The moment you start, everything changes. And so I won't tell you any hot stocks that I like today, but I will tell you, start looking at the market in general. If you have an iPhone, you have the stock app that's embedded in there. Open it. Look at them. Add different ones, different companies that you shop with, that you buy. Just start the habit of looking at it. And I'm telling you, the more you look at it, you'll say, ooh, okay, this was at this 2 months ago. Write it down. When you open the stock app, write down 2 or 3 stocks and their price and come back to it a week later, a month later. This stock was at this. Now it's at this. It's called paper trading. The moment you do that, you'll start mentally wanting to invest actual dollars. Once that happens, then you're on the track of becoming the pending millionaire that you were meant to be. So thanks for tuning into our episode today. I hope you understand that we have to own our future. Own what you want to happen in your life. Owning income-producing assets can help you turn into the millionaire that you want to see happen in your life.